The recent hit game, Baldur's Gate 3, was released only a week later. The number of concurrent online players exceeded 1 million. However, many friends may find that inexplicable lag often occurs, especially in crowded cities or campsites. The main reason for this is that your system memory bandwidth is insufficient, seriously affects the operating efficiency of the CPU. Generally speaking, the more units there are on the same screen in the game, the amount of calculation and transmission of game data will increase exponentially. At this time, the small capacity L3 cache is far from meeting the demand, leading to a sharp drop in the cache hit rate. The CPU will read and write data directly from memory more often. The latency and bandwidth of the memory is only about 1/5 to 1/10 of the L3 cache. This is the root cause of the sudden drop in game frame rate in complex scenes. At this time, the large capacity L3 cache will play a role. This time we will conduct a special test on online games. The comparison products are AI's most powerful gaming processors Ryzen 7 7800X3D and i9 13900KS. Judging from the parameters, the all-core frequency of i9 13900KS is higher, but Ryzen 7 7800X3D has a L3 cache capacity of up to 96 megabytes. When there are more units on the same screen, in theory, the frame rate performance will be more stable. The testing of online games is different from that of stand-alone games. Because the number of players and the scene changes at any time, the frame rate will also change accordingly. So we will try to keep the two hosts in exactly the same scene in perspective. This time we tested a total of 6 online games: CS, Go, League of Legends, Birthplace, League of Legends, Decisive Battle, Sword and Soul, Dota 2, Eternal Calamity, PUBG Mobile. In terms of overall performance, Ryzen 7 7800X3D performance is stronger, with an average lead of 15%. Among the 6 games, 5 of the Ryzen 7 7800X3D have gained an advantage. Only CS, Go lost, but the difference was only 4%. Mainly because this game requires more CPU frequency. In addition, in League of Legends, the Birthplace i9 13900KS has a slight advantage. But in the decisive battle, Ryzen 7 7800X3D takes the lead. Obviously, the decisive battle scene has greater reference value. When testing games like Dota 2, we found that when moving or switching screens, the frame rate of i9 13900KS will suddenly drop by about 20-30 FPS. The frame rate will return to normal when the picture is not moving. Ryzen 7 7800X3D has no such problem. Whether switching screens or moving, it is very stable. The current online games do not have a high demand for multi-core, and their power consumption is generally lower than that of stand-alone games. Among the 6 games, the power consumption of Ryzen 7 7800X3D is between 40 and 60 W. The power consumption of the i9 13900KS is between 80 and 130 W, about twice that of the former. The current price of i9 13900KS is 5,999 yuan. The Ryzen 7 7800X3D only costs 3,179 yuan. Considering that the former also needs to be paired with an expensive Z790 motherboard, the latter only requires 1,000 yuan B650 motherboard. In addition, due to the high power consumption, i9 13900KS also needs to be equipped with a higher specification power supply and 360 water cooling radiator. In other words, from the perspective of the overall budget, the i9 13900KS platform is about 5,000 yuan more expensive than the Ryzen 7 7800X3D. If you want to get a higher and more stable frame rate in online games. So what do you think about this? Welcome to leave a message in the comment area, let's discuss together.